Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for my good morning flow. This is just a really nice gentle flow to get you started for the day. So go ahead and grab your yoga mat, grab your optional blocks if you have them, or if you have books that are just about the same size. And of course, your beverage of choice with whatever additive you have decided to put in it. Absolutely no judgment here. So go ahead and get everything you need, and you can start by either joining me in a seated position, or you can go ahead and lay down in a full Shavasana on your mat. You can leave your socks on for this part if you wish. If you have an eye pillow, you can gently place it over your eyes just to help you unwind and relax a little bit more. We'll go ahead and get started. So closing your eyes here, really just start to focus in on your breath. Starting to take those really nice, long, beautiful inhales and exhales through your nose. Relaxing your jaw. Releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Perhaps pulling those shoulders back and down, just to really feel yourself grounded. If you're in a seated position, really placing those sit bones into your mat, connecting with as many corners of your body as you can. And just breathe here. As you inhale, feeling your belly rise as it fills up with air. And then exhaling, drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Doing your best here to match the length and depth of inhales with exhales. And trying to really expand that breath, elongate that breath, getting away from those short, shallow breaths that we're often so guilty of. Seeing if you can pull the air all the way into your belly, maybe your ribs, and into your chest before you let everything go here. If you'd like, you can place one hand over your heart, one hand on your belly, and as you inhale, really feeling that belly expanding. Exhale, everything comes back in towards the spine. So go ahead and continue with your own breath here, finding that rhythm that works best for you. And if you'd like to set an intention for yourself for today's practice, this is a great time to go ahead and do that. An intention being something that you want to remind yourself, such as maybe focusing on your breath, trying to ignore any distractions that are going around in your home right now. Or maybe your intention is just to give your body a bit of a break, taking those options that I give you, just listening to your body and honoring it. So whatever that intention is, think about it, send your breath to it, and allow it to guide you through the rest of our practice together. We'll go ahead and take 3 more nice big full breaths here in your Shavasana. On that third and final breath, starting to bring movement and awareness back into your body, bringing awareness back into the space. So starting by wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles, and gently moving your head from side to side. Allow allowing any tension in your neck to release here. If you're laying down, I'd like you to stay just where you are. If you're in a seated position, we're gonna make our way down onto our mats. So go ahead and take a sip of your beverage if you need one before we make our way down there. And taking your time, slowly as you can, go ahead and roll down all the way onto your mat. From here, I'd like everyone to go ahead and extend arms up overhead. Reaching with fingers and toes, making yourself as tall as possible. And then as you exhale, drawing your knees into your chest, bringing nose to knees here. We're gonna go ahead and do that again. So as you inhale, arms are overhead, legs extended out long. You can rest your heels on your mat or on the ground. And then exhale, draw everything back in. We're gonna do that a few more times here. So inhale, nice and tall, and then exhale. Continuing this with your own breath. We'll go ahead and do one more full extension. One last time, coming in. And then gently relaxing your head down on your mat, placing your hands on top of your knees, bringing your big toes to touch, starting to circle those knees open and closed. Just noticing how those hips are feeling this morning. Noticing any tightness or any discomfort. On your next breath, you're going to go ahead and bring your right knee into your chest, extending your left leg out long. You can either stay here or start to open that knee up towards the right. So just getting into your groin a little bit more here. Choosing your options, you can also take a block and place it underneath that knee if it doesn't want to make it down all the way. So you're choosing your options here, whatever is going to be most comfortable. Holding here for a couple of breaths. And then slowly removing your block if you have one, gently bringing that knee back to center, extending that right leg out long, this time bringing that left knee into your chest. So once again, you can either stay here, slowly open up that knee to the left side of the room. Noticing how one side differs than the other. Noticing if one side is a little bit more stiff than the other this morning. And just remembering that that's the side that might need a little bit more attention today. Maybe a few more breaths during all of our movements. Two more nice big full breaths here. And then gently coming back to center, bringing that right knee to meet your left, lifting up those feet, coming into the happy baby. So your happy baby can be still, or you can start to rock gently from side to side here. If you'd like, you can start to straighten one knee, then the other, coming into that nice half archer. It's gonna give you a really nice stretch in your hamstrings. Otherwise, just stay right where you are, listening to your body once again. On your next breath, you can go ahead and cross your ankles, grab onto your big toes, and rock and roll yourself up into a seated position. If that's not easily accessible for you, simply roll over to one side, raising that arm up and overhead. head as you come up all the way, coming to meet me in that seated position. This is a great opportunity to once again enjoy your beverage. As you go ahead and inhale, sweep those hands all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, drawing your hands to heart center. 2 more. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up. And then exhale, coming back. Last one. Inhale, really nice big sweep, reaching with your fingertips. And then exhale, coming to heart center. We're gonna come onto all fours, coming into our tabletop. So taking your time to get there, making sure your shoulders are stacked directly above your wrists, your hips are stacked directly over your knees. From here, we'll go through a few rotations of our cat-cows, wake up our spines this morning. Inhale, tilting that pelvis up and back, really arching your spine as your gaze comes up. And then as you exhale, rounding your upper back, gazing towards your belly button. Inhale, tilting up and back, really squeezing those shoulder blades together here. And as you exhale, continuing to round that spine. So I want you to continue your cat-cows with your own breath here. This is also a great time for you to add in any other movements that your body needs. So whether it's moving your hips from side to side, perhaps widening your knees, sinking back into a child's pose, and then coming back into a modified tabletop. Whatever it is, take the next few breaths to listen to your body and complete any of those movements. So we'll stay here for about 3 more breaths. Taking your time, don't rush any of the movements, please. If this is your first movement of the day, we want to make sure we're being really, really mindful about it here. We're not trying to push our bodies too much. Nice job, everyone. From here, I'd like you to find stillness. Go ahead and send your knees back a few inches. Tuck your toes, lift up your hips, downward facing dog. From here, look towards your hands and walk to the top of your mat. As you inhale, come up halfway, nice flat back here. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky. And then as you exhale, drawing your hands to heart center. We'll go ahead and do that again. So we're gonna inhale, bend knees, sweep our hands up. Exhale, go ahead and fold. Just let everything go in this fold. You can nod your head yes, shake your head no. Knees can be bent in order to allow you to touch the ground, or knees can be straight, whatever is more comfortable for you. On your next inhale, come up halfway. And then as you exhale, plant your hands, step back into that nice high plank, nice straight line from head to toe. Drop down onto your knees, hinge at your elbows as you lower down into that chaturanga. Tuck the shoelace side of your feet down as your chest lifts up slightly into your baby cobra. Elbows are bent, they are glued to your ribs here. Next breath, tuck your toes once again, lift up, downward facing dog. From here, inhaling that right heel high to the sky. As you exhale, bend that right knee, swing that foot between your hands, dropping that left knee down, slowly rising up. Go ahead and bring those arms into cactus here. Check in to make sure you have a nice 90-degree bend in that front knee. We're going to try to work on pushing this left hip back and right hip forward here. Next breath, both arms come straight out in front of you, coming into that gentle twist. Placing your left hand down, opening up that right arm towards the sky. Pulling that right shoulder back and down here. Great job. Next breath, you can go ahead and plant your hands down. I'd like you to step back into that high plank. Hold here for 3, bracing that core, 2 and 1. Drop down onto your knees, lower down, chaturanga. Just nice, gentle baby cobra here. Lifting up those hips, downward facing dog. From here, look towards your hands and walk your feet to the top of your mat. As you inhale, come up halfway, and as you exhale, fold back down. On your next inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky, and then as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We're gonna do the same thing, but on the other side. So inhale, sweeping those hands up nice and tall, and then exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, plant your hands. You can either step or hop back into that high plank. Option to lower down onto your knees, or staying up high on your toes, hinge at your elbows, coming into that up dog this time. So nice straight arms. Option, baby cobra, which we did before. Holding here for 1 nice big full breath. And then go ahead and tuck your toes, lift up your hips, downward facing dog. From here, inhaling that left heel high to the sky. As you exhale, bend that left knee, swing it between your hands, and go ahead and drop that right knee down. Looking down, making sure you have a nice 90-degree bend in that left knee this time. I really want you focusing on pushing that right hip forward this time. So right hip is coming forward, left hip is coming back. Really visualize that. Arms, your choice. If you want to do another cactus arm, fantastic. Otherwise, arms can come up. If your shoulders are feeling sore, you can just gently connect fists behind your back. So you're going to listen to your body here. Just make sure you're opening up that chest, opening up your heart. And on your next breath, both arms come out in front of you, opening up to the left side. Looking towards those left fingertips, holding here for a breath. And then planting that right hand down, opening up that left arm towards the sky. Pulling that shoulder back, and like a nice straight line from one arm to the next. On your next breath, you can gently bring that hand down, step back into that high plank, option to flow, or go straight into your downward facing dog. So you decide what your body needs this morning. And from your downward facing dog, simply sink back into that child's pose. This is a great time to grab a sip of water, a sip of coffee, whatever it is you're drinking this morning. And when you're ready, coming back into that child's pose. On your next breath, I'd like you to sweep your right arm under your left, allowing your right temple to rest on your mat. Just gently releasing our shoulders here. Slowly bringing that right arm back to center. Pausing here for a moment, really reaching with those fingertips, and then this time sweeping that left arm under your right. One more nice big full breath. Once again, coming back to center, slowly starting to walk those fingertips back up to your body as you start to stack bending your spine, rolling up one vertebrae at a time with your head coming up last. Taking your time, we're going to go ahead and meet in your downward facing dog again. From your downward facing dog, look towards your hands. You can step or hop to the top of your mat. As you inhale, nice halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. From here, we're going to come into our Utkatasana, our chair pose. So I like to start by bringing my arms back and then sinking down as I bring my arms up and forward. My feet are just about hip distance. You also have the option of bringing big toes to touch, heels apart. What you don't want to do is have these knees cave in towards one another. So play around with foot placement, do whatever is going to work best for you. Next breath, you're going to bring your hands to heart center, twist to the right. So you're still trying to open up that right shoulder, pulling it back and down. As you come back to heart center, staying nice and low here, everyone. Go ahead and twist to the left. Look down quickly, just make sure those knees aren't caving in before coming back into your positioning. On your next breath, slowly bringing those arms back up as we hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back up. You can go ahead and shake your legs out. Now you're going to step to the top of your mat. I'd like you to step that right foot back, and I would like nice train track legs. So this means that your feet are parallel with one another, but one foot is about a couple of feet behind the other. Nice straight legs here. We are going to come into our pyramid pose. So from here, we inhale to stand up nice and tall. And as you exhale, you hinge at your waist. And you can either stop once your back is really nice and flat and you don't think it's going to go any further, or you can lower down all the way, placing your hands on the mat, placing your hands on blocks. I prefer hanging out here with that nice flat back. I'm getting a really nice, beautiful stretch in my left hamstring. So I'm going to stay here, but you're going to listen to your body. I want you to focus on, once again, pushing that right hip forward, left hip back. It's going to get you even more of a stretch here. One more nice, big, full breath. Inhale, coming up halfway. And then exhale, coming up the rest of the way. Stepping that right foot to meet your left at the top of your mat. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. So, stepping that left foot back, nice train track legs. Take a look, making sure all your toes are pointing forward. Inhale, standing up nice and tall, both heels on your mat. And then exhale to fold. Pushing that left hip forward, right hip back. Should be getting a really nice stretch in the back of that right hamstring this time. Finding your level of the posture here. Holding here for a couple more breaths. On your next breath, inhale, coming up halfway, and then exhale, coming up the rest of the way, stepping that left foot to meet your right. You can go ahead and shake it out. We're going to do one last flow. So as you inhale, bending those knees, arms come up nice and tall. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and as you exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to that high plank. Up dog or cobra here. downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, drop your knees. So we're gonna start by coming into that tabletop. Going through another couple of rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, tilting pelvis up and back. And then exhale, rounding your upper spine. This is a great movement to do throughout the day if your back's feeling a little bit tight. Nice job. From here, you can go ahead and cross your ankles in order to come into a seated position. I'd like you to start with both legs straight out in front of you. So this is our staff pose right now. Bend your left knee. You're gonna place your left foot over top of that right. We there yet? You're gonna take your right hand, place it on the outside of that knee, and you're gonna twist, looking over your left shoulder. Strong fingertips here. One more nice big full breath. And then slowly coming back to center, removing that left foot, extending that leg out long, bending that right knee, placing that foot over top of your left. This time that left arm is gonna connect with the outside of that right knee, and you're gonna look over your right shoulder. Two more nice, big, beautiful breaths. And then slowly coming back to center, releasing that foot, bending both knees, stepping your feet hip distance or wider as we gently start to windshield wiper our legs from side to side. Just some final movement to get our day off to a great start. And from here, I invite you to join me in a seated Shavasana. If you would prefer to lay down, you are more than welcome to. Because it is morning time and your day is just beginning, I definitely recommend the seated Shavasana, but again, you know your body best. I prefer laying down all the time as well. So go ahead, listen to your body. You can go ahead and place your socks back on if you need to. You can grab a blanket if that's what's going to make you feel most comfortable. So once again, either laying down, legs extended long or soles of your feet together, or sitting here with me. Taking one final sip of your beverage before we come into that final Shavasana. So closing your eyes here, pulling those shoulders back and down once again, parting your lips, uncreasing your forehead. Once again, finding that breath. Feeling the weight of your body as you sink deeper into your mat. Noticing the quiet as you're able to once again let go and find that relaxation. I'd like to invite you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you wish. I only ask that when you do decide to come up and out of it, you do so mindfully, safely, introducing small movements into your body for awakening completely. I would like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. As always, it is my honor and pleasure to get to spend this time with you. From the bottom of my heart and from my energy to yours, namaste.